G'day guys, and welcome to the final round of the NRL regular season. This round, round 25, it is all on the line. We have a battle for the top 8 between the Canberra Raiders and the Brisbane Broncos. And of course, a thrilling game on Thursday night that will decide the final spot in the NRL's top 4 between the Melbourne Storm and the Parramatta Eels at CommBank Stadium. Before this video starts, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who is new and subscribed to the channel, who's been with me in the regular season. Obviously, videos will continue for the NRL finals, but as we move into those last couple teams that may not be watching, I wanted to announce a little bit of a giveaway. And I thought something different. Obviously, if there's multiple people, which I'm sure there will be, we will run a randomizer. But for something different, I'm going to give away an NRL jersey. It'll be an NRL best and less style jersey. They do only have 6 teams to choose from, so I do apologise for that. The physical jerseys are very, very expensive. But so the teams that you can choose from are the Roosters, the West Tigers, the Cowboys, the Storm, the Eels and the Broncos. And all you have to do, a little easy one this week, is that all of the upset teams, so those teams are Parramatta, Manly Sea Eagles, Gold Coast Titans, South Sydney Rabbitohs, I'm having a blank, Brisbane, Dragons, if you tip the Dragons. But basically, if you tip an underdog team and they go on to win this week, in the comments section, you pick one team, and if that team wins, you go in the winning to win one of these NRL jerseys. So pretty simple this week. Let's get into my NRL round 25 tips. So what a game on Thursday night. A decider for the top 4 at home for the Parramatta Eels up against the Melbourne Storm. We've shown the wood over the Penrith Panthers as well as the Melbourne Storm in our recent meeting. We're unchanged for this game. As for the Storm, young Tonomapia is in the reserves for this one. Mari and Seve and Justin Olam make up the centres. Munster and Hughes in the half still. And their bench is Kamakamika, Trent Lorio, Chris Lewis and Brandon Smith with Tom Eisenhuth out. Well, hard game to pick here. We haven't played a full strength side at Parramatta against Melbourne for quite a while. The last game I can remember was 2020. We played them, but that was a kind of under strength side, you know what I mean? So they still had like Brandon Smith. I think they still had Pappenhausen, but they were missing a lot of players. Really interesting game this one. Melbourne obviously lost to the Roosters last week. We know that Melbourne don't often lose 2 in a row. Melbourne lost 4 in a row earlier in the season. They've had a really inconsistent season. As you saw, I tipped them in 5th at the start of the year, so I could potentially be right on this result. But Parramatta coming off huge confidence. I hope they're not too cocky off that win over the Broncos, scoring 50 points, playing some good footy, and beating the Bulldogs previous week at home, so chasing 3 straight wins. And if we finish in the top 4, second chance footy. What I think is going to happen here, I think Parramatta's going to win. I reckon we're going to win this game, and I reckon we're going to win this game well. I think that this game will be a bit of a grind early on, really struggle for both sides to come up with points. I think we'll score the first try as well as win the game 13 plus. I am going to go with a scoreline of 30 points to 16. I think the Storm can still score plenty of points. I'm going to take them to score 16 points in the match and Parramatta to score 30. Parramatta to secure that spot, and I'm going to say that Tom Opacek is going to be my first try scorer against the Melbourne Storm. Tom Opacek, first try scorer. Parramatta, a huge game on Thursday. Go Para! The next game is a really hard game to tip. There's a lot of hard games to tip this week. But the Canterbury Bulldogs were playing some great footy earlier. In the last couple of weeks, they've really dropped off a cliff. They're going up against the Manly Sea Eagles, who, speaking of dropped off a cliff, have gone and fallen off that cliff, and the rocks have just hit them, and those rocks have been filled with 40-point game, almost conceding 50 against the Canberra Raiders last week. Josh Aloiai is out for this game. Andrew Davey has been named in the back row. Ben Travojevic, Schuster, Bully Moore and Kurt DeLewis make up the bench. As for the Bulldogs, Zach Docker-Clay, Joe Stimson, Patello and Tavita Pangai Jr. with Curtis Morin and Harrison Edwards out of the side. This game is at Accor, and I've been saying all year that the Bulldogs play some really good footy at Accor, so I think that kind of gives me that favouritism towards Canterbury to win this game. But Manly, they haven't got much to play for this season. They probably want to get the fans roaring for their final game of the season and just show them that they're still a great club nonetheless. I look at the lineups here, and on paper, I see the Bulldogs winning this game, and I honestly see the Bulldogs winning at 13+, but I'm going to tip Manly here. I have a feeling that Manly is going to be an upset. So I'm going to tip the Sea Eagles in a close one. I'm going to go the Sea Eagles by 8. I reckon it'll be fairly low scoring. I'm going to go with a scoreline of 22 points to 14 in favour of Manly Sea Eagles. I reckon Manly win this game, and I reckon Marty Tapau in the props. He's going to have a big run, big game. He's going to score the first try. Marty Tapau. I'm tipping Manly to beat the Bulldogs on Friday night. What a cracking game we have on Friday at 7:50. I'll be there. I'll be very close to the action as well, thanks to Hainsey. Make sure you check out Hainsey on YouTube. But Hainsey's Sydney Roosters opening up Allianz Stadium, the moment we've all been waiting for, up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are playing some good footy. They beat the Cowboys last week. Should they have beaten them? I don't know. The Cowboys were fighting into it and were refereed out of it. The previous week, they had a great encounter with the Panthers. They lost the game, but they played great footy nonetheless. And as for the Roosters, they're about five or six straight wins in a row, so they're playing amazing footy. They've locked in their spot in the finals. They have to win this game to get a home final though, which makes it really, really interesting, all on the line. The fact that this could have been a game that came down to that final kind of spot in the top 8 was not to be. But let's have a look at the Roosters. Now, I can already see, I haven't seen this lineup. Radley, Tupou and Collins out. A lot of worry there in regards to the Roosters. Paul Momirovski comes in on the wing for that one. Sia Takiaho moving to lock. And as for the Rabbitohs, Campbell Graham is out for this game, meaning that Jackson Paulo comes back into the side. He is recalled, who I believe will be a Rooster next year. But look, I'm looking at this side, and in the forward pack, there's some really great battles. But I think Souths have the edge. You've got Jared Ria-Hargraves up against Tavita Totola, who's had a fantastic season. Then you've got Angus Crichton going up against Keon Kolomatangi. They're both in great form back rowers. But Cameron Murray, for me, has played more lock than Takiaho. Takiaho's game time has been limited. You've still got the likes of Tedesco opening up the stadium. I'm going to go Roosters. I was going to go the Roosters 13+. I'm looking at that team lineup. I can't see them winning 13+. I'm going to go the Roosters by 7. I reckon this game will be absolutely thrilling. I'm going to go with a scoreline of 25 to 18. 25 to 18 in favour of the Sydney Roosters. They're going to open up Allianz. They're going to beat their rivals, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I'm going to kick myself because I've been saying for years I need to tip Rabbitohs in the final game of the season or the week before. The Rabbitohs always win this game. Go and check history. The Rabbitohs always beat the Roosters in the regular season, the last couple of rounds. But I'm going to go the Roosters. Get behind the Chookies on Friday night as they open up Allianz Stadium. The next game, another difficult game to tip here. It's the New Zealand Warriors going up against the Gold Coast Titans. I've been saying for a week, even though the Titans are down towards the bottom of the ladder, they're scoring plenty of points. They're coming off a win against the Knights as well. They have to travel to New Zealand, where the Warriors are a completely different team over in New Zealand. They're playing some great footy when they head over there. They got a few outs for this game as well. Dynamis Louis is out, Viliami Viella is out, and Taniela Otokolo is out. So their bench is Freddie Lussick, Ben Murdoch-Masila, Eli Katoa and Tom Ale. And then for the Titans, it is Paul Turner, Herman Essa, Jermaine Jolliffe and Kless Haas, with Jared Wallace as the 18th man in his final Titans game before he goes to the Dolphins next year. Well, I'm looking at these lineups and The Warriors are so strange, but they're just so good in New Zealand. They're playing amazing footy when they go over their home. They've only played a select number of games this season there, but I can't trust them here. I'm going to go the Gold Coast. I was going to go the Warriors, but I am going to tip the Titans in a close-ish encounter. I reckon the Titans will win by a converted try. So I'm going to go the Titans by 6. This game probably has plenty of points in it. So I'm going to go, I've got the dog biting my foot, get out of here. I am going to go with the Gold Coast Titans to win 28-22. We've seen some very high-scoring games in recent weeks, and I'm going to tip the Gold Coast to win by 6 points. And my first try scorer for this game is going to be Greg Marju. And as for the Rabbitohs and Roosters game, my first try scorer is going to be Angus Crichton. Game is another tough game to tip. However, I think there is some favouritism towards a certain team, even though they aren't playing their best footy right now. It's the Dragons at Cogra going up against the Brisbane Broncos. Now, there's a chance I'll be at this game, but it's also meant to piss down this weekend. So it is unlikely, but we'll wait and see. Tamari Martin at fullback for the Broncos. Brenko Lee and Kobe Hetherington out for this game. Cobbo returns. He's in the number 5 jersey. Staggs and Deloise Hoyter make up the halves. Andrew McCulloch has been named in jersey 19, so they're sticking with Jaden Sullivan in that number 9 jersey. Jack Bird at lock for this, so Tyrell Sloan will remain on the wing for this game, just like last week's late change. Well, the Dragons, they came storming home with a victory from the jaws of defeat over the West Tigers. It wasn't much of a win. As for the Broncos, they've been getting smashed in recent weeks, but the Broncos have more to play for here. This game is at home for the Dragons, and when they play at home this year, especially Wollongong, even though this game's not at Wollongong, they're playing quite well. But for some reason, I can't see the Broncos losing this game. I think the Broncos will win, and I do think this will be very tight. I think this will be very low scoring as well. Adam Reynolds has been named for the Broncos, but whether he'll play is a very different question in my opinion. I'm going to go the Broncos by 6. I'm going to go the Broncos to beat the Dragons, 20 points to 14. And I am going to go with the Dragons to score first. So the Dragons at home, I think they can fire up and score first. And I don't think he scored a try last week, but he's been in great form. I'm going to take Talatau Amone, first try scorer, with the Broncos to win by 6. This game is meant to be a good game, but it probably won't be. It is the Cowboys going up against the Panthers. Now, let me read you this Panthers team, and you can go, what the hell? That's not the Panthers. Charlie Staines, Sunia Taruva, Robert Jennings, Thomas Jenkins, Christian Crichton, Kurt Falls, Sean O'Sullivan. We know that name. He's been there a while now. Lindsay Smith. So Jerome Luai is not playing. I heard he was playing. Wow, that takes a lot out of the Panthers, actually, the more I think about it. Lindsay Smith, Mitch Kenny, Matt Eisenhuth, Chris Smith, Scott Sorensen, Jermaine Hopgood, who's coming to Para next year. I'm looking forward to it. And on the bench, they've got Jack Cole, Liam Henry, Sonny Luke, and Eddie Blacker. What the hell? The Panthers are resting their whole team. The Cowboys, I got on them at -6. I expect that line to move to around a 20 mark. Nan doesn't bet, so I don't have betting on the phone available to tell you the odds for the game. But if the Cowboys are at about that -6, I would trust it at about that $1.70 value. Anything under that, probably not value. But the Cowboys here, they'll win this game. They probably will win it well. However, for some reason, I think this Panthers team will compete with them. So I'm going to go the Cowboys 1-12. The Cowboys have been playing some great footy at Townsville, putting up some big scores, and they should do the same here. But they've also been playing a little bit off. They've got their final season of the home crowd. They're playing for second, I believe, on the ladder as well. Or maybe they finish third based on the Sharks. I'm not sure about that equation. But I think the Cowboys will win by 10. I think the Cowboys will win. I think it'll be... could it be very high scoring? I could see it. I'll go Cowboys by 12. I'll go with a scoreline of 30-18. I'll go the Cowboys by 12, and I'll say that Penrith, who have got their reserve grade team, kick all their goals. Penrith Panthers not to miss a goal. Bold prediction for the week. And Penrith lose by 12. The Cowboys win 30-18. My first try scorer for this game, I am going to go with Scott Drinkwater. The next game is the Newcastle Knights going up against the Cronulla Sharks. And the Cronulla Sharks, they could finish second on the NRL ladder. What a team they have built in 2022 and some great performances throughout the season. No outs, it looks like, for this game. Dale Finucane has a chance from returning in jersey number 22. Anthony Milford is out for the Knights. So into the team, Jack Johns is on the bench for this one. Chris Randall, Jacob Saifidi and Pasami Solo. Matt Croker is in the lock position. And Phoenix Crosland and Adam Clune make up the halves for a pretty much full-strength Sharks team. Not much to say here. Newcastle at home. They've been terrible at home all season. The Sharks will win, and they will win well here. I am going to go with the Cronulla Sharks to win 34 points to 10. So the Sharks by 24. I reckon the Sharks will blow the Knights season to smithereens by 24 points on Sunday afternoon. And I am going to take, I think I might have taken him last week, but I think it's a safe tip. I'm going to go Ronaldo Mulatalo to score first in this match. And the final game of the regular season for 2022 in the NRL. Again, potentially, if it's not raining, I will definitely try and get to this game. The West Tigers, who, to put it in simpler terms, snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, literally, against the St. George Illawarra Dragons the other day. Up against the Raiders, who are fighting for a top 8 spot. Need to win the game if the Broncos win to secure that spot in the top 8. Now this is interesting because I don't know if it comes down to margin here, but the Tigers played really well the other day. They played very, very well against the Dragon. It was a scrappy game, but they were on top of them and just couldn't hold on towards the end. For this game, they get James Tarmow back in his probably final game of NRL. You've got Farmore Brown playing some great footy at lock. They get Ken Mamalo back as well. So there's some big ins there for the Tigers at Leichhardt at home. As for the Raiders, Charles Nickel-Clockstad has been named on the extended reserves. Could he play his final Canberra game? Well, maybe. I think it could be a chance of happening. But Canberra's playing some great footy. Canberra's scoring plenty of points. I'm going to tip Golden Point. I don't know why, but I reckon the Raiders will win this game by 1. And I think this means that I've got the Broncos making the top 8, which is insane considering how unlikely it is to happen. At $34, this game is to go to extra time. I am going to tip this game to Golden Point, and I'm going to tip the Raiders to defeat the Tigers in a very high-scoring game at Leichhardt, and it's going to be 23 points to 22, and I am going to go with one of their centres. I'm probably going to take, it's a safe option, Sebastian Kris, first try scorer in the final game of NRL for the regular season. Guys, that's my tips. Once again, if you want to win an NRL jersey from Best and Left, make sure you comment. I had a technical difficulty there, so if you want to enter the giveaway, comment which upset team you're tipping for the final round of the regular season. If there's multiple winners, we'll randomise it for the Best and Left jersey next week. Guys, that's it from me. Thanks so much for a huge regular season. I'll be at the Eels and the Storm, getting behind Para, and the Roosters and the Rabbitohs getting behind the Roosters for the opening. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.